All right, we are live. Welcome to Andrews the podcast. I do want to apologize. We stepping in here a little bit late. Please go ahead and hit the like button as soon as you get in, so that we can bring more people in. We got a lot to cover tonight. Again, there was a lot that took place over the weekend. A lot of good, a lot of bad, and we're going to try to cover it all here in a good time. But first of all, Mayor, welcome to Real Talk Tuesday again. How are you? How's your day been?
It's been rough. Well, the day's been. I shouldn't say the day. I would. It goes back probably to the weekend. You kind of mentioned in your opening there. It's been one of those bittersweet and mixed emotion kind of a weekend, and it's still lingering on with me at this point in time. And I know we'll get into it tonight, but it's been a rough time.
Yep. It's been I think it's got something to do with that. We just had that's what's called a super moon, harvest moon, big harvest moon, and it's been kind of weird. Been a little weird on this, and I've been aggravated today, and I've just been really trying to kind of talk myself, well, and not kind of, but keeping myself kind of balanced, just not being frustrated by a frustrating situation.
Yeah,
That makes
and
sense.
I don't know how to quite describe it, but it seems like just this country is in a twilight zone, and it's all the way down to our level. And we'll again, as you doing your research and looking at some statistics that kind of highlights what we're going to talk about tonight, and there are no answers. It's just the numbers just keep stacking up. There's no answer to the problem, other than individual responsibility,
Accountability. Yeah.
um, senseless, murders, taking the people's lives, those kind of things. And then there's no answer. A lot of people talking about having these rallies, doing these kind of things, but it's the accountability of the individual. And if you're a part, if whether your cousin, whatever the case may be, if you're not doing something about it, if you're not trying to get that person some help, or letting somebody know that we're about to hit a point where somebody's going to get hurt, then you're part of the problem. And so we got to dig into this thing, man, and a little bit tonight, but respecting the process and where they are right now, and trying to the family bereaving, families bereaving, investigation ongoing. So we won't get into that kind of discussion, but we're going to have a conversation tonight and continue to have a conversation. And hopefully those that are around people who have the potential to do something like this would do something about it to help stop it. That's where it is.
And you mentioned personal accountability. I did a video this morning where I was talking about if you're going to attend nightclubs, I think it would be wise of you to learn how to have some type of first aid knowledge of addressing gun wounds. You see across the bottom of the screen right now, there's a list of shootings that happened across South Carolina over the last 5 days. So to your point, and there's no answer. It's part of the culture now, in my opinion, and it's disproportionately affecting young Black males. I saw this statistic right here, where young Black males in South Carolina make up from 15 to 34 make up 3.6% of the population, but 46% of the gun violence, but are 46% of the gun homicide violence victims.
Yeah, that's disturbing, but we know that to be the case. These numbers are not made up.
It's nothing new. It's back to what you're saying. You got this information that people that's watching, and you got kids you got to be accountable for where you are, who you're with.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you, as a former nightclub manager, where these types of incidents happen. And I'm telling you from a management, and I'm speaking to some of you parents whose kids go to school, go to out to nightclubs and the different things like that. And the business, the nightclub business, does not care about it. It's almost as if it's good for business. The only reason I say that is because I've witnessed where an incident where somebody lost their life at a nightclub, and the very next night, the line's wrapped around the door. And again, when it gets down to the individual, don't think that can't be you. That's dead and the party's going on.
And I will tell you from another perspective on that. Is it because nightclubs, gatherings happen all over?
All over.
I don't think that they're the nightclubs. I know they're not. I know they're not promoting this.
Absolutely.
I know the large gatherings.
I'll say indirectly. I was in that business, and
right.
I'm a type of person that thinks about the atmosphere that I create. Right.
Yes. Well,
and so I say that, and even when it's are the nightclubs the problem? No. Are the nightclubs pulling the trigger? No.
No. Because here's the deal. So we all know at a nightclub, I don't care if it's a sports bar, you can go to Ruby Tuesday, you can go down to some of the other restaurants that it's you have eating, drinking, that kind of stuff. So that happens, so then we want to put it on. I mean, the reflection is on the nightclub. So again, I think it goes back to the individual, who the individual that is committing these, awful crimes, and the people that are around them who know that they have the capability, the propensity to do something like this, that are not doing anything, not saying anything. It's making anonymous calls that say, hey, this person is really upset and have the intention of doing something bad. Because the night you think about any establishment, I just don't want to focus on the night, any establishment, I mean, the Heritage Festival, another large gathering. Okay. I know that we're doing everything we can to keep people safe, although knowing that you don't know what the intentions of all of your participants are. But you do everything you can to make sure it's safe. So I think then that should, if that's not the thought of anybody else who have a place that you have a large gathering, then you need to rethink that. But then who shows up with the intention? You have no idea, whoever you are. You can be the owner. You're in there handling your business. You're doing what you legally can do, serve alcohol, music,
okay,
that kind of stuff.
And you're legally able to sell alcohol.
Yeah.
But alcohol plays a big part in these things too.
I agree. But then again, when I think about this thing and try to think through it, there could be people showing up already liquored up. Is that the owner's fault? No.
And that's why it's so, you can't put your finger on, because like you said, they could have bought the liquor downtown. They could have brought, and again,
we don't, the festival, we don't allow alcohol, that kind of business. Now, are people in there, you could smell it and you can smell the things. Yes.
Absolutely.
But do you now then that drives rather, communities, just everybody goes into their, it's happening in the churches. Let's look at some of these things. It's happening in the churches. So then we all have to be our brother's keeper.
I agree. But
and hold them accountable.
Just keeping it 100, like, you got to know who the company you are, you keep. You got to understand what people are into. That's if you into work, see, we like to kind of split the fence. We want to. Some of us want to have that street aura and kind of be connected to the streets. You feel what I'm saying? But we don't want the trash and the dirt and the violence and all that come with the street. So when we rub shoulders with people that operate in the street, that's robbing people, that's beating people, that's doing different things out here to people that you don't even know about, but when they come around you, you inherit their beefs. And so I think, again, back to the personal accountability, you need to start taking notice of who it is you keeping company with. And if they on the shady side of things, you need to move yourself away from it if you not a part of that. Because I can tell you from like what's changed now, violence has always been there, but it used to be amongst gangsters. It used to be amongst the street element. And again, now people you don't know who's in the street. You feel what I'm saying? You got regular people looking like they street, you know what I mean? Go da 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 da. And that's my opinion, that it because you can get it anywhere. Look across the screen. This is from Greenville to Orangeburg to, everywhere.
And I think, again, for our listeners, for us too, as we're focused on this on the numbers you're looking at now. But when we can expand this conversation, we start talking about these school shootings, and then look at the demographics of those violators. So it doesn't just stop here, just not in the African American community. It's a problem. But we're going to have to address this right here right now, because this is what we're experiencing. So as you look about this thing, and then with numbers like this and mass shootings, why would a state opt to put a law in place that allows everybody to basically carry? Well,
their logic would be to level the playing field, because the outlaws were. I'm giving you the perspective that they would come with, is that they level in the playing field, because most of these, I would go as far as to say, I'd bet a dime to a dollar that the person that perpetrated this shooting this past weekend in Andrews, that person is not a legal carry in no way. So it's almost like playing, because the guns are, bro, the guns are out there.
Oh, they are. I know the PD has taken guns off of a young man. 1 week, 2 weeks later, he had another one. And they're all underage.
Yes.
Now, so again, why are we having such a hard time in this country, not just this state, in this country, putting things in place to do that? Now, it's, again, that is the case, but so then it goes back to what I said earlier, the individual responsibility. The individual responsibility, and to your point, if we know this is out there, this is the kind of environment that has been created, then we have to be very selective of who we are around, where we go, and it's not worth it, because it's not going to change because of the numbers that you're showing down here in overnight. So my thing is, we're going to have to pick and choose where we go to do things. And again, I say that, but still yet, churches aren't safe, schools aren't safe. So what are we all supposed to do? Go back to our house and just stay there? It's there's no answer.
And I guess the immediate answer is, for me, what I would tell somebody, okay, these things are happening consistently in a consistent place. Stay away from that place. It's happening a lot of times around, again, like you said, these large gatherings, right? That for some reason, when people getting dressed, a part of their dress code is the firearm.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you have to take personal accountability. If not, go and get you some battle dressing, wound dressing, because that's another thing. when incidents happen, you got a bunch of drunk people out here yelling erratically while these first responders are trying to get in to help potentially save a life.
That's tough business. Yeah, we've seen that all the time. That's tough business, you know. And again, they can't get into a scene until it's been secured. Now, who knows, you know, where this person is, whether this person is going to come back again. So it's got to be. So it's not that they, you know, you rush into something. Military, same thing. If it's a hot zone, you got to make sure it's clear before you start sending warm bodies in there to do something. And so that delays any response and that stuff. So, you know, not specifically about this situation, but
it is. You can almost. It's almost stereotypical. It's almost stereotypical at this point.
Yeah, you got to secure the area. That's just the way it is. You got to make sure that, you know, these first responders are not walking into a wall of lead. That's just the way it is. That's protocol, if you will. But we'll talk more. I think.
This
and I'd like to hear. And I know we got some listeners out there like to hear a little bit more. But it's tough. It's tough trying to digest it because, you know, and especially when it hit home, you know these folks,
October
families, you know, that kind of business. It's different.
October 19th, if you're interested in being part of the solution, okay, October 19th, Mr. Butch Kennedy, what's the name of that building? What's the name of their
Kennedy Space.
Kennedy Space. And it's going to
place. I think it's Place. I'm sorry. They're going to get Place.
I'll get the official name and everything, but October 19th at 12 noon in Andrews, South Carolina. Okay, there's going to be some resources that are coming in for those who are serious about getting out here on the streets. Okay, it's easy to sit and you know from elevated positions and say, you know, what the town needs and what's this. We need to borrow a phrase from well, he didn't have that phrase. That was actually a military phrase. We need boots on the ground. And so Mr. Kennedy reached out to me. October 19th at 12 noon, there's going to be some people there that are going to be bringing some resources, some information that if you're serious about it, the place is not hard to find. It's right on the corner, right across from the old Ford place, right there on Main Street in Andrews, South Carolina, right next door to Capitol Security. Is that it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Capitol Security, and right down from the YMCA.
Yeah.
Sound like I'm talking.
I will say this before we transition. I know we're going to come back to this topic because I'd like to, you know, entertain some of the comments, but. I will say again, when these things happen and they're consistent as they are from the government side, there will be some additional control measures, some limitations put in place, and it's not going to be fun for any business owner. It's not going to be fun for anyone who likes to, you know, do things all night long, and it's necessary. So when these things happen, we have an obligation to change how we do business or to tighten things up. Because you don't want to restrict folks to where they all feel like, you know, they're in some prison camp. But until we get people coming forward and revealing who these people, you know, are and having the potential to do something like this, we're going to have to do things that's going to make folks uncomfortable. And so that's in the work now. We'll talk more about that. But I say there's no answer, but there's some measures that we can take and will take. And they just need to prepare for that.
Hey! Trump will send the National Guard down if you need him now.
No, we're good.
All right, President Trump, I tried. I asked.
That's a whole nother subject. You know, when you start talking to old military guy, man, that's a whole nother subject.
But on the realness, man, things have got to because from. To me, the government gets an unfair rap when it comes to these situations because, like you said, y'all not out on the street. y'all have no clue what's going on out on the street.
And I think to think that an officer can be at the point where the bad guys intend to do this without anybody seeing it.
I love that phrase.
They're not going to do that. Yeah, they're not going to commit a crime in the presence of a law enforcement officer. So then that's where we, I say we, all of us, you see something, you're going to have to say, so you got to get ahead of it.
I ain't no snitch. And
you got to get out of that business.
I ain't no snitch.
I'm for having a snitch hotline. Call it a snitch hotline. You got to tell it. You just got to stop being afraid. It's not being a snitch. You are protecting potentially a loved one of your own by getting these people who have these tendencies to just randomly go out and hurt somebody. That's the bottom line. You got to get out of that. We've had too many cases right now that are still open, ongoing, or just open because no one will come for it.
Nobody gonna say nothing. It's not. It's.
You got some feedback.
Oh,
I think you're good now.
Yeah, I'm loading some photos here.
So that's a part of the solution is people that are around these folks knowing something's going to go down. You letting somebody know who can do something about it. Not your buddy, because that just extends this thing and keeps it going, but people of authority.
So what they're talking about, Veronica, and thank you for correcting me on that, is some resources as far as, and it ain't no free stuff. So the ones who thinking there's some free stuff, ain't no food or nothing like that, but it's some proven techniques that these folks have using to intervene in violence in their communities. And so the thing is this stuff is not happening all over the place. So we got to get to where it's happening at in a real way. But go ahead.
And here's an even more concerning issue. And I don't know but kids are just allowed to just run rampant throughout the town.
I just did a video and said that orphanages are our only hope. These kids are raising themselves.
Listen, I don't know how many. So as I was telling some of the staff, I didn't get to enjoy none of it because I'm integrating. We had officers from, the state. We had officers from, county over, late night, sheriff's department, three vehicles here. It still wasn't enough because it was so many kids just running and wreaking havoc in the park. So I'm out there, I'm always carrying a flashlight, and I don't know how many times I went over there and said, you're going to have to move this out of here. We shut down the kids zone at 6 with the intent that these kids who are not supervised would be going home.
12:30 when I was wrapping up at 12:30, them kids was still I'm talking about random kids was just walking by.
I mean, it's nuts, man. You can't that's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So again, we're going to have to do something about that as well.
Yeah, that's
Now, it wasn't a whole lot of folks available when we started to clean up. All that, thank God for the staff. Got out there and got this place cleaned up. But so that's the bitter part of the weekend. There was a lot of success, a lot of good things happening from the school and the activities they had. The Heritage Festival. And I think it's important that we also talk a little bit about, that, while not forgetting again that this tragic situation is still ongoing. But a lot of great people, thousands of people that were here, and just had under the conditions had a really good time out here. And so we'll talk about some of those folks, man. But what do you think about the game?
It was good to see us finally get back on the winning side of things. First of all, let's hear from our quarterback, our signal caller, who is definitely making strides.
That's my guy now. That's my guy.
He is definitely making strides.
Looking forward to next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm probably going to start that over.
All right, Avery, man, quarterback for the Andrews High School Yellow Jackets. Got us back on the winning side of things, man. Talk about the game tonight a little bit.
We just played well. Both sides of the ball. We just took care of what we needed to. Didn't play down to their level any, and just did what we were supposed to do. Limited all the mistakes that have been kind of plaguing us the last few weeks. Just kind of got right a little bit, get right game, as I said.
Well, hey, man, listen, I'm proud of you. I see the development going along. That was a beautiful ball you threw down in that corner there, man. What was going on that play?
The linebacker kind of blitzed, but I knew Bryson had a beat, so I took a little shot there, but we got it to him.
Absolutely, man. Good job, man. Looking forward to next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yep, there's the signal caller. Watching this kid's confidence grow. He's turning the corner now with a vengeance now. He's turning that corner like with a vengeance.
He's a legitimate threat. He's a legitimate threat. They're going to have to, again, and what does that do? When you have other weapons, other things working, the throwing game, the quarterback ability to run, that frees up your star runner, AJ Lee, to get 5 touchdowns.
Absolutely. And wanted more. More because to the folks who are sitting on the board or the selection committee of the North-South game,
fired.
You're gonna regret that. You're gonna regret you missed this. You passed over this young man right here.
They are fired.
How do you
miss AJ? Who's he's up to? He may be in double digits touchdowns at this point.
I know he is by now.
And I don't think he enjoyed running short touchdown. So if it's not 30, 40, 50 yards, which is most of his touchdowns.
The kid ran 3 straight back to back. They ran one, called a flag.
Right.
Came right back the next play, ran another touchdown, they called a flag. Came back the very next play, ran a touchdown.
So those folks up there in that, I don't know how the selection goes, but yeah, they're gonna see this guy again. They're gonna like, who is this cat? Well, it's AJ Lee, man, and just an outstanding performance that night. Last homecoming, so that's gonna be one of the memorable events for him. I had some other, the school, and I don't know how they select their players of the game. I think there were 6. We know, Chris Stewart is always going to be there. He plays every down. AJ was on there, Davion, those guys, but got a newcomer, number 85. Have you met that guy?
Oh yeah,
Josh Sibilian.
Oh yeah,
he's our kicker, man. This guy was.
Yeah. I had a long conversation with that kid. Man, listen, that leg you got, boy, you can.
That looks like a college kicker. You may be a Sunday kicker, huh?
Hey, I almost said something real.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Pull up.
Yeah,
pull up.
But you can buy a lot of sandwiches, I tell you that, buddy. With that leg right there.
Listen, yes, somebody understand. I won't call his name. So when the first night he played, I think it was like 2 games ago or 3 games ago, and they saw this kid kicking. Man, it was like yelled out of the stand, said Andrews must be went to the portal, must be to recruit this kid. But he is an excellent kicker.
Yes.
Field goals, extra points, you name it. It's in there, and it's making a difference. And it gives our offense or our team some breathing room when you can strike from that far out.
Yeah, I got my man right here. Let's see, where is it loading at?
I'm gonna drop another name for you while you're looking at that. Bryce Cannon.
Hey, Bryce done had some big touchdown catches in the last couple games, man. Like on that corner, and he has speed that
we didn't see that speed.
He turned the corner on a run from the quarterback position Friday night. That made my eyes stretch. Like, whoa, where you get this hidden speed from, bro?
Hey, I'm talking about outrunning the defenders, getting outside of the pocket, and still making throws on the dime. So, shout out to Bryce. We always know from the defensive side and offense, but he really did, put his talents on display the other night. So again, another standout that didn't make the six that were out that published today at the school. I'm going to give you Malachi Flegler.
Yeah. And I was like, Malachi, is your girlfriend at the game or something, bro? What's going on?
He said he was trying to show out.
Oh man, bro, like you running up in. I mean,
and again, I think it's again a testament to. I think the coaches they got it all together. We were seeing pieces and parts of it, but they got it all together and they were firing on all cylinders. To be honest with you, anybody that came off the bench, and I know the game got out of control in terms of these guys' ability to challenge us, but it gave some of our guys who didn't get a lot of time an opportunity to get out and play.
That's why I love what Avery said. We didn't play down to their level,
right?
And now keep it real. That team came in there 4-1.
Yeah, they wasn't a bad look. I mean, we were, and just like the others we played, we were a better team. We just didn't have everything working the way it did Friday night.
I think whatever clicked in Avery in the last couple of weeks, I think that's going to be good for us down the stretch, man. Because like you said, you're going to have to respect his arm now, and he's more comfortable where he was kind of shying away from the contact. Not so much shying away from the contact, but he was a little skittish. He didn't have his feet up under him, and I'm watching him deliver balls. Like the first time I saw Avery throw a ball, I saw him throw a touchdown to Marlo and JV, and the confidence that he showed. Yeah, that's the guy right there.
That's him, man. That's Josh.
Yeah, that's that photo right there. That he gonna once he get back to the NFL, he'd be a kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, hey, you still got that photo? Yeah, $10,000. No, I'm joking, Josh. Nah, bro.
Hey,
yeah, we went in the portal and got him.
Yeah, he's obviously it was not obvious, but he's also a standout soccer player. And so the soccer coach is there, coaching him through this because it's a little bit different. Obviously, you're talking down the oval versus this round ball, but his timing and his ability to get this thing, it's because he's moving when the ball is snapped.
And I told him at the end of the game, from where he's at, he has an opportunity to set some records here at Andrews High School. He has a real opportunity to write his name in the history book, from that position.
Because we've had kickers in it, but I will tell you that he's probably the most impressive that I've seen in the last 10 years. I've been watching and being a part of the program, if you will. But very good, and that's we talked about it for a long time, and that is one of the things that we didn't have.
No, I mean, because it's listen, especially once we get one, because for me, we on a run right now, baby, and once we roll into the playoffs, that's going to be key. That's going to be key. Good games with good teams win games like that. With a good kicking game. Good special teams. That's why they call it special teams.
And it's a game of inches, man.
Yep. I want to shout out my two homies.
Listen, Riley's my big man. Okay. Well, he's my strong man. Now he's a big fella too, but I tell you, I've seen him toss some folks around, and so Mr. Jordan is my strong man. I don't know who lifts, who bench presses more, but I've seen him throw some big bodies around. Now again, we know Davion, Chris, these guys are just beasts out there, and that's not going to change. Young, Caden there.
Caden. Hey,
that's
and I
king.
got him to smile.
He's a homecoming king. But and his mother Danielle. But so we have the talent. We just got to get everything firing on and get the timing right. If the timing is off, we're not going to do well, man. But I'm very proud of
we started. AJ had a different bounce from the start of that game. We started that game the right way the other night. We started that game in the right I mean, we started that game the right way the other night. Like I felt it. I was on the other side and I could see, oh, nah, these kids come to play tonight. You know what I mean?
I watched him up there, after every touchdown, it was a different, he had a chip on his shoulder, and he should. Because, again, to be, not selected, and he's a great player, but he didn't sit down. And we talked about it last week, how he got carted in to play. He's a tough guy. And so for him to be a little bit, to play a little bit differently, show the folks who are watching and not watching, you're going to remember his name. And you're going to remember his play. So he keeps getting at it. And again, Chris had a monster game. They couldn't stop him. He's making tackles. But you see he's being moved around a lot too, which is key.
Yeah.
You put your strength where the threat is. And make them run away. If they're going to run away, they're going to have to call audibles because he's there. Javon held his piece down that end, so it really made a difference, man. Who's that? AJ again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I call him the flag shoes. He got the yellow shoes on, man. It looks like flags out there.
No doubt. Pat, I see your comment, man. Coach coming through this year. Let me go put your comment up there and give you some shine. But Coach coming through this year here, baby. Don't even worry about it. You can say what you want to say. We're coming through this year here. And first of all, let me say shout out to Coach, who is now officially the winningest coach in Andrews High School.
Yeah, let's talk about our coach, man.
Let's hear from Coach here real fast.
Just getting right. We for whatever reason, ever since that.
Tale of 2 seasons. All right. First of all, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And that was what you said was absolutely true. We had a lot of great.
And Coach, I didn't have the mics. The mics are here. Shout out to my boy Jeffrey Graham who came down. He came down and took some photos on the sideline. I'm looking forward to seeing them. But I got the mics now, Coach, and so I apologize about the audio on this one right here. But back to, I'm sorry.
Coaches here, and you carrying on that line. So first of all, talk about what the win means for you to get us back on the winning track.
Well, I mean, that was a big thing. We talked all week about just getting right. We for whatever reason, ever since the end of the Carvers Bay game, we just haven't played well, and we've had some injuries and that sort of stuff, and we just needed to get back to playing good football and stop hurting ourselves and beating ourselves, and we did that tonight. So that was the key.
Absolutely, man. It felt good to see the guys smiling. AJ Lee, talk a little bit about that guy right there, man.
He's a phenomenal football player. Just tough kid, physical kid. Can run inside, can run outside. I mean, he's obviously the best back we've had in the time that I've been here, and he's just a heck of a football player.
All right, Coach. Next week we got Woodland. All right, so hey, let's get ready and make it happen.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Thank you, sir.
And there he is, right there, Coach Durham.
Look, man. Hey, I'm happy for Coach. I'm happy for
I am too. I'm
family, because that's a huge feat. He got his 86 when we were trying to get this thing ever since the second game, because he came in the first game obviously against Georgetown and tied the record, and then we had that serious slide, series of losses, those things for various reasons we've already talked about. I kept writing, the remarks I was going to make for him, or the comments and things, and I keep rewriting, and I said tonight's got to be the night. And so congratulations to him. And they too, just like the football team, the coaches are going to have to be in sync. And I think they pulled it all together this game, and this is as you coined it, this is the tale of two seasons. This is the first game of the second season, which is the most important.
Yep.
So we have an opportunity.
We right now we want to know in conference, baby.
Yeah. So I believe they will. Now I don't know. I haven't done my research on Woodland yet. But are they typically a tough team?
Yeah, they usually big, strong kids. Fast. we had them beat. We had Timberland beat last year, and I think they lost as much as we lost. As a matter of fact, I think we got more seniors going into this game right here. And Pat, man, I again, I'm watching this young kid. That was the question mark coming into the season for me, was the development of Avery Durham, and I'm here to tell you, brother, I'm on the sideline watching it, and I know that football, and the kid is the real deal, and he's still. I mean, what we five games in the season, so you know what I mean. I'm looking at the rest of the season and next year with this kid right here because of what I'm seeing out there right now.
And there is a balance. And again, when AJ was, I think the game that he did not start, you saw LJ Brown running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Now Dutch has been out. I don't know why, but Dutch is out. But AJ ran the ball well. And I got to tell you, the way Bryson was running that ball the other night, he may be another option. I don't know if they thought about that. But Bryson can get out of that backfield with the quickness.
Yeah.
Now he may be saying, "Hey, Mr. Mayor, don't promote that. I don't want to be a running back." But
hey, and I'm gonna tell you, him and Avery's got a chemistry on that corner. That throw for that touchdown in the corner that I asked Avery about, it was the same thing the previous week when he caught that touchdown down the side late in the game. Where it was a double move. They ran a play and it was a double move pump fake. Mm-hmm. And I mean, just you can't drop the ball. I mean, it's almost as if he walked down and handed the ball to him.
Oh, he's accurate, very accurate thrower. And you remember early on in the first couple of games, it had too much flight in it, too much art.
Happy feet.
Now it is there, putting right in these guys' hands, and so. That's the balance. I think to Pat's point is not only that. I think we got flexibility in running backs now. We got a throwing game and a quarterback that can get out and pick up, 5-6 yards, if not more.
Yeah, because if we got a healthy Marlowe, Kobe.
Kobe that was
in the concussion protocol. Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm.
And then you got on the other side of him, you got a healthy K2. Caden.
Yep.
I like our chances, man. I'm telling you right now. And again, I think our line is pulling it together. I know down this stretch, the boys understand this. The window is closing. That senior season is coming to an end, baby. So, like I said, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror. No matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, but you got to be honest with yourself and say, "Hey, man, I gave every damn thing I had on every play." And if you can't, that's going to eat you up for the rest of your life.
And I'll say this too. One area, now we weren't tested Friday night on the deep ball. So
they couldn't get the time to
yeah. That's another aspect of the game is going to have to, tighten up to because we were exposed to the game before. So I
think we did come up with one pick.
Yeah, we did. I can't recall who it was.
Who was that?
But we did have one pick, and there was a couple of balls knocked down, but that right there is, I think we get that in sync. Guys play, error free. Maybe we'll be okay.
No doubt.
86. Now I'm a big Simon Lewis fan. Now I played for Simon and Al Lewis, and they're always going to be my guy. But you can't not be happy for accomplishing like breaking a record like that, and so big shout out.
I was really happy for Coach to see him get that monkey off his back, man.
Yeah,
because I mean.
I'm sure he slept well Friday night.
Because, man, that kind of thing starts to tear at the locker room, and then it seems like, you know what I mean, you got this going on and that going on, and
I heard there was some self-checking going on or peer checking going on around, and to your point, there was a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
And I think the guys came out and turned that into a positive by playing harder, doing their part. And sometimes
showing up for coach.
sometimes you got to jack each other up, man, to make sure that, everybody's doing their part. Can't take a play off, especially now doing this, this second season. So we're happy for those guys, man. That's good stuff.
No doubt, man. I got one more picture I want to share up here, man. Again, like I said, I thought this was, it's just, it adds to the Andrews High, the lure of Andrews High School, and I found out that one of the coaches from on the other side was playing in the state championship with Coach. He was a quarterback. All right.
Yeah, I think now being in this region, he get to coach against a lot of his, I think several of his former teams.
Yep.
He's been around for a while. Which again, it's very happy for the team, man. It's good to be back on the winning side, and hopefully we'll continue that play this Friday night. Yep, there they are.
No doubt, man. So yeah, congratulations, Coach Durham. Congratulations, Avery.
Avery's outgrowing everybody. Huh?
Everybody. I seen that. Hey, and that must suck. Well, no, it don't. Cause see, Coach Durham Jr. What is Coach's what's his son's name?
It's I got it right here. Eli. I should have known that. Eli played ball.
Eli. Don't feel bad, Eli. My brother's like 6'6", so you know what I mean.
I don't even want to talk about it.
But the thing about it though is that he's compassionate, so that's why I always got that edge on him. The moment he gonna be like, that's big bruh, I got him.
Yeah,
and he's so big that I already know that first move. But they say your first move better be your best move. Your next move better be your best move. But yeah,
and I think it's also to recognize the fact that even with all the activities going on this weekend, you still had two of our players that went off to visit colleges this weekend.
Yep.
And I think it was Chris, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Big Stu went up there to the Wolfpack. Did
North Carolina State, right?
Yep.
And Avery was up at, I think, Mercer. So that that's what it's all about. Sometimes you got to sacrifice and give up the fun stuff to go out and showcase your talents elsewhere, man. So
any feedback on homecoming? I thought the crowd was had a nice crowd.
Yeah, I think yeah. So there's other things. The homecoming to me was right. I enjoyed it.
How much money did the school make this year?
I don't know.
That's what I'm interested in.
You're talking about from, it depends on what pot you have the gate
from the tailgate pot. Yeah,
they had about 20, 25 classes, if not more. I don't know if the numbers change, but I will tell you what, they had a great time back there. I'm just telling you. I went out afterwards. Now
I didn't go. I'm keeping real. I didn't go. And
that's the way it should be. We should be out there, man. We're supporting the schools, alumni. That's what we do.
Yes.
We're gonna have to work through these things that we're having issues with or conflict. But again, I don't ever think we should deprive them unless they're doing something wrong with the money. I got that.
No, and not suggesting that. Now, what I'm echoing is right. So because I got there, I always get to the game early, right? I got there about 5:30, and I'm always gauging what people are thinking. I'm interested in what people, most interested in what those who came in town, what kind of information did they come in with, and I'm telling you, everything could be improved, and there's a feeling that needs to be worked on. A feeling of, hey, look, we're coming here to spend our money with you. You know what I mean? We're not asking you to, open up the back room for us, but yeah, it's a little didn't make any sense for people to be piled up at the front gate. You know what I mean? And I get it. They got a security protocol, but they need to revisit these things and open these things up, because it seems to me that if you can open up the gates and start having people trickle in, as opposed to having a big crowd pile up right here at the front gate, just little things, but
I'll say this, I'm always going to probably give the perspective from the leadership perspective. I think one thing we have to understand, and what I've learned, and I don't know a whole lot about how the school district operates, but I do know I've learned that there's protocol that they put in place that the schools cannot change. So when you come down to security measures or protocol, that is directed from the district level. The things that we went through in order to get the process we went through in order to even have a tailgate, there were specific things that put in place that the leadership felt was necessary to prevent some of the things they thought were a problem.
And that's great. It'd be good if they communicated that in a better way. That's what I'm saying. That's great. The folks don't have a problem with the rules. It's the communication. It's just like they're hit. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't. You know what I mean? This is what I'm getting from, long conversation with some classmates out in the front, and it was just, well, why is it that, you know what I mean? And those why is it that conversations come for? And again, the information could be out there, but
that's my point. That's what I was about to say. So then I don't know. I didn't go check. I just kind of fall in and, follow the rules. But if it wasn't posted, we get the same thing at this level. It's not there. Then it's obviously on the Facebook page or the website. Can there be improvement in that area? Of course. But that's
my concern. That's when I say these things a lot of times. It's for that. Okay. So maybe I need to express that so I don't ruffle feelings or nothing like that. But it's in what I do this weekend. When I finish, I do a BDA. What is a BDA? A battle damage
assessment.
I need to know. I need to and be real with myself and say, all right, I messed up there. I should have done this. I should have, just different things. And so that's my mindset. After it's always room for improvement.
Yeah. And again, we're catering to, or not catering, your audience is so broad and deep in terms of people coming from all over the place. Have they taken the time? Well, first of all, is the information out there? And then have we taken the time to go look at it and then manage the expectation once we get on site? I don't know. I think everybody need to examine this, like we need to examine how we do business, whether it's our daily operation or how we run this festival. Because I'm constantly looking at how do we improve this thing? How do we improve it? Not just from the fun aspect, but the security, the safety of it. Because I am not one that's going to allow anyone to force us into to terrorize this town and force us back into the corner. We will look for places to minimize those kind of threats or minimize, and we're going to go out and do what we need to do, whether it's a festival, a meeting. Meetings are not safe these days. So how do you then think through these things as leaders and say, okay, we got to continue with this because it's a part of our community or our business, and do it safely to protect the people that's coming out. And sometimes I've seen leaders, that make these knee-jerk reaction and make it so restrictive that's no longer fun. And then you'll get people making their own, having side events that's taken away from to be the focal point.
So is there I don't know if you were alluding to it, but is there a possible curfew coming for the town of Andrews for children?
Oh, I was laughing. I thought you were going a different direction. That's a part of the consideration. I'm talking about curfew for there's no reason for kids to be out after dark. You're 10 years old without your parent. And I'm not exaggerating.
I was witnessing it. So
Yeah.
my question is, okay, why can't that child be detained and the parents be arrested or at least called?
Of course, all of this thing will be vetted through law enforcement, legal folks to make sure. But something has to be done. If kids are left unattended, man, bad things happen. I ran them physically going behind Super Chick, which is now grown up, with weeds. These little girls I seen, no, you guys can't do that. Get back out here. We put lights out there because it's one of the dark areas, but you got little girls and big guys in that area. And to me, that's just a recipe for disaster. And if you're not thinking about those things as a parent, we don't do daycare at a festival. Nobody does that. So to assume that your kid is okay because they're in this blocked off area,
well, they okay because they got the cell phone.
That ain't going to work. That's not the solution. And so we got to take, just like we were talking about earlier in terms of the violence stuff, we all have to take the responsibilities, man, and do something different.
Hey, look, wow, it's funny you bring that name up right there.
Leon Lott.
It's funny you bring that name up there, Pat. Because yes,
He'll
sir.
be here with us.
He'll be in Andrew November 8th, baby.
November 8th, he'll be here with us.
And he'll be telling you about how he locked them parents up. Will lock them parents up.
Yeah, he's accepted the invitation to come down and be a part of our military veterans ball. And probably many folks don't know that Sheriff Lott is also a major general, a commanding general in the South Carolina State Guard. So he'll be here, along with some other officials to join in with us, man, to make this celebrate our veterans. So you can't. So then that's what makes it rough trying to police up somebody else's children, and you just don't have the manpower, and it shouldn't be our responsibility. So it is not. I'm not so sure what that comment is. Now. So I'll have to talk to Ms. Veronica offline and talk about my chief and my major. I get sensitive about that. Was that Erykah Badu? I'm sensitive about my. But I think I know where she's going, because there was some because Veronica is on it, watching things. We had golf carts moving through the crowd. Should not have been happening.
Should not have been happening.
This is a 4, 5, 6 block kind of thing going on, and so I don't know where all of the security was. Still you have security gaps, but part of that is now instructions that go out and say if you get caught with your golf cart beyond this point, you can probably be cited. And so that's a good point. Now she and I talked about that a lot actually. It was the kids terrorizing the folks in the park, and the golf carts and those kind of things moving about.
What do you mean?
Motorcycle through there.
What do you mean specifically when you say terrorizing?
I say that because when you have so much, I'm talking about a large group of kids just running, and it's dark in that park. And so then if anybody else want to go in there, and I've seen families in there, and I say terrorize is just a strong term, but it makes it very.
Did they destroy any property?
Yeah. Some of the benches were damaged, an area that was dedicated to with rocks and those kind of things. That sign was damaged, so we've taken that, and we're going to rebuild it or
unsupervised kids, and it's just wild, just random for no reason, just fool.
Yeah, so we can't do that, man. That's just not good. So we went out, and again, a part of that, we'll go out and flash. But again, I think so to your initial question, homecoming was great. No incidents. Everything came out of there. And of course, what happened was in the wee hour, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. But before that, the festival. And again, I want to give my staff, all of the employees of the town, man, because that's who put these things together. That's who make it happen. We don't have an agency that comes in and do a planning for this big event. And so they're up 4 o'clock in the morning, blocking streets so the The stage can be built. You were there with us.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
they're out keeping the streets as clean as possible, which is very difficult. That's another thing we need to address. People need to take responsibility. Put the trash in the trash can, put it in your car. That's everywhere. So then even after the event, it's the town staff, everybody from me on down that's out throughout, because again, it's not fair for folks to wake up Sunday morning and there's trash everywhere. And I'm telling you, we pick up a lot of trash. They're on the church ground. You can't do that. And so we'll have some comment. This will be another thing we'll address with some of the property owners. If you don't want,
So if these kids out in the street acting like this, how do you think they acting in class, in schools?
But it's the it's folks our age too, because it ain't the kids with the trash. It's the people who are, so we all have a part to clean it up, but again, or to do better. So we were, I think, to 3 o'clock in the morning, we policed up as much of it, all of it that we saw. But we have to understand, after, this is our town. We have to do our part to make it better, to keep it clean. And so so they work hard. I'm very, very happy for them. But again, we had great entertainment. We had True Soul here. Those guys are, at the professional level, who sings all over the place, House of Blues. We had Frank Johnson here, did a great job. And always, my man, Dion Jenred, who is, I think, is a class act up there as an MC. He just doesn't MC the program. He talks about what he sees. This guy was talking about, he said, hey, man, I didn't see these things here that, that I'm seeing now. Right? And now homegrown. There you go. So you have Miss Muvana doing her thing, and then one of the fan favorites this year is and I don't know if you have him up there, Mr. Nigel.
Oh yeah, of course I do.
Where's this video? There's Dion, and there's Nigel up there. So it's a young lady came to me. She said, "Hey, because we got a little bit off the timing." She says, "When is can we get him up there, because there's a lot of elderly family members here want to see him perform."
How y'all gonna trip? How could you forget?
And people don't know, this is really about the Super Chick song. This is the Super Chick song, and everybody, this thing went viral, and so I learned a lot. You know him well. I learned a lot about his ability to, his filming, photos, drone. So the young man, he has a lot of talent, man, that people should reach out if you're looking for that kind of capability. It's either Jamal or Nigel or both.
Yeah. Hey, and I was telling Nigel that last night we was talking. So yeah, for those of you who don't want to deal with me, listen, you don't have to, all right? Because I don't want to deal with you either. But this young man right here, I promise you, he is he's respectful. You feel what I'm saying? He looks you in your eye when he talks to you. He's straight up and down. You feel what I'm saying? So don't do these events and don't do them properly now, especially when you got the capabilities in there, man. Because I tell you,
I caught it in your hand, cooked it, then I picked it up. From that moment on, I knew y'all were the one. When it came down that crease, so I had fell in love.
Hey, shout out to the lighting guy from True Soul. I hope he's watching this. He made a joke, and I didn't take the joke well, and
you see, you ruffled your feather.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what I mean? Cause I you know what I mean? At that time it was just like, and now he did come back over, right? And he was like, oh man, my comedy, he said something about, I said something. He was like, yeah, my jokes are. I'm like, man, I get it. I said I just didn't understand. Because when I went over there and I'm like, hey, are you gonna light the stage up a little bit? Because it was dark. You know what I mean? He said something like, damn show ain't started yet or something like that. Turn the iris up in your and I didn't say anything, but I gave him that 36 Chambers the death look. And I think he got the message. He came back over, he was apologizing, he was hugging and dapping. I'm like, no, man, it's all good, man. But shout out to him, man. He did a great job lighting that.
What's your take on the cook-off, the rib cook-off?
I don't want to hit them. Maybe one year somebody from Andrews will win it or get in it. You know what I mean?
We can't count Big West.
Big West from Philly, man. Big West from Philly. He's from Philly. Yeah, he's from Philly. I mean, he's been in a long time. You know what I mean? But Greg Dow,
yeah, we haven't had it.
$1,000. But again, shout out to
Elliot Middleton.
Absolutely.
Elliot is a three-time champion. He'll win a year, you take off a year, but he's also the same guy who donates cars to people who don't have rides. This guy goes out and feed people, so he's doing a lot of great things and has been doing it for since I met him several years ago. And I'm sure it was I wasn't one of the judges, but we had some quality judges came in and judged food, and these guys walked off. Neither one of them were a loser. One took a little bit more money than the other, but again, we can't get anybody local to get into the contest. But big shout out to them. The vendors, man. The vendors said they did very well.
Oh, hey, it was and I got lucky too. Caesar's Kitchen was parked right behind me.
Man, that's my dude.
Walk. I turned right around and was like, hey man, let me get a fish and shrimp.
Fish and shrimp, pork chop, you name it. I think he's now doing fried rice, all that stuff. So big Wyndham McGee, man, he's doing well. And we had some of our return vendors here. They always come to the festival, and they would stretch, a block and a half out there. So all different kinds. Now we were competing with South Carolina State, and it wasn't really competition. Some of those guys went there who typically are here, especially our cheesecake vendors. So, but we still had it covered. Yeah, the pork chops are great. So so it was an overall, man. Again, who else I'm missing? We had the big kids zone, so that's where the kids need to be. And when the zone is done, they need to go home. Now, but you remember the light show? When the light show came out, I don't know where these little people came from. So we're gonna have to try to get that up front. So then it's not later in the evening, man. So those kids can again enjoy that part and then go home. And
man, it's just keeping it real. People need to take care of their damn kids, man. Like they churn. They don't need to be out that time of night. And for somebody to have to tell you that's trifling, man. Like that's just that. We got to start calling out this, like grabbing their kids, get on the mic. Who your mom is? Come get your child. Like real talk. That's that. I'll be walking around with Kid Patrol next year because it makes zero sense, man. For 12:30, I'm watching people get ready to go to the Corvette Club, and kids walk. Not today. The kids weren't going to the Corvette Club, but they was walking the street like.
Yeah. And I don't want to miss another key aspect of the festival, man. The work that you do. So this what you all are seeing right now, this 2025 here, this is all a part of Jamal's communication. I don't know what you call it. This that
run and shoot multimedia, baby. Run
yeah.
And shoot.
So we had I didn't know my name was up. Look at you. We have the ability to broadcast pretty much worldwide if we wanted to. Am I stretching it too far?
No.
So the streaming business that you have here.
So for all you churches,
yeah,
let's take these programs up to a different level. All you community organizations that's got imported business meetings, corporate type meetings that you want recorded, or you want it when sound and is of the utmost, video quality is of the utmost importance, rock with your boy. We'll take care of you. Or you just call Nigel, all right? Because Nigel gets you done too. Now, if you don't like me, you definitely don't like Nigel.
Yeah, and I also want to thank the business owners that were in the blocked area, who Pueblo Chico, our Mexican restaurant, stayed open, and hopefully their business. I think the business, did well.
If I had that bar, I'd have been open all day. I'd have been open all day. The night I wouldn't even made it to the night. I'd have had the game because it was Saturday. The games was on. Man, I'd have had yes, sir. But I mean, I don't want a bar, so
yeah. So and I'll talk to her later. But we spoke early on, let them know what was happening, and she put out the message that, hey, look, we're still open, and we got plenty of parking in the back, and that's kind of the relationship that we have to have, or we strive to have with our business owners, because we don't want to. Although this is this is still a community event, we all can benefit from it, and it may not be something that someone want to get off the food truck, and you still have your restaurants open, your other businesses open, and it gives them an opportunity to come in and purchase things. So it's those kind of opportunity that's out there. They're the rib cook-off challengers.
Bill a little bit.
And then we had these guys. Hold on, remove this one. Remove. Add to the stage.
There they are. It's a light show. And again, different. We normally have the fire show, but those guys wasn't available, and I think one was under the weather. And I think the kids really enjoyed it, because you can see all those little legs out there, and it's a ton of them. And it's always great to see them out there dancing. A lot of line dancing going on. I didn't know some of our football players can line dance.
They better be damn line dancing on them boys Friday night. They better have that line dancing Friday night.
Hey, I saw some of our rough, tough dudes out there. I mean, these guys are light on their feet, man. I would trip trying to make all those moves.
Hey, man, and to me now, all the line dancers just prove one thing to me. These kids, they have the ability to learn.
Yeah.
Now, if somehow you can get the lesson plan, get STEM worked into that line dance, get a song, the exponent to the left and the exponent to the some kind of algebra, bro. You can teach it in dance. And some guy did that one time.
I think I was about to say that. Yep.
In Atlanta, he had an innovative school, because people learn through, obviously, because I'm watching them dances, man, and it is amazing how people just walk in, next step they kick it, they right in line.
And we can't forget the gospel.
Absolutely.
So we lead off this special. We go and kind of backwards reviewing, but the gospel fest kicked off at 12 o'clock, 12 to 2. I think they may have gone a little bit longer than that. But that's what we so we try to capture all aspects to address the desires of the community, the kids, grown-ups, and
I would like to see that grow. I would like to see a headliner for the gospel. You know what I mean? Like I really would like to see that with full music. And they did good. Shout out to Dunmore, who stepped in and was on the keyboard for them. I'm find that.
I think we're probably going to have to get involved a little bit more to help with the plan, because that's just Councilwoman Angela Anderson is kind of the sole planner. So we got to figure out how do we integrate, not necessarily integrate, but help develop that part of it.
Because they had a better crowd than last year. I mean, the crowd is still growing. Like I said, let's figure out a way to You know what I mean? Put that on steroids legally. I mean, if there's a legal steroid.
He said, "Poor George the word."
There you go.
Let's give them a hand. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I said, praise the Lord. Only you, God. So today, if you don't know Jesus, I plead with you. We're going to give you a few minutes.
It's Pastor Becky.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So that's important.
That's Miss Birdie, the grandbaby singer, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome to have these kids out there.
Glory, hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
There were your other coaches there right there too.
Say again?
Amir.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Amir's outgrown us, man. He's out there playing ball. And
Amir can step too now. Amir be out there stepping.
Amir did his thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I tell you what.
So people can see that everything we have built in to the festival. Again, it is to capture all aspects of who we are. And so everybody's invited out. You know, hopefully we will have more participation in the future, and this thing will grow and just have just kind of add to it. And so, again, shout out to the staff, and those guys work hard, man. I think they're still sleepwalking right now, man, trying to get it back together. So good weekend again, but we're certainly going to have to address the bitter part of this weekend here in more detail. So that's where we are.
No doubt. So to the viewing audience, if you haven't already, go ahead and please hit that like button. Please help us out, help push this out. I think we had great conversation here this evening, and I want to open this time up right here for a few minutes for a little bit of
Q&A.
So if there's any questions that you guys got, here's the time to get those in. Get them in. Get them in. Now, and I'm going to go ahead and answer the question that most of you are already asking. I don't know what date the next Heritage Festival is going to be on.
So we're tied to the high school.
Yeah, we got to wait till homecoming come out. Hopefully they keep it consistent, and then we can be on a consistent, But we'll rock and roll however it shakes out, man. Again, shout out to Coach Durham and his family. Big things happening over there. Definitely like what I'm seeing in young Avery. Yeah. But
hey, I think they released the Shrine Bowl selectees too.
Yeah, kid from over, man, Carver's Bay's got a couple coaches on the staff, and Big Zion is over there, definitely holding it down. Yep, Shrine Bowl.
Yeah, that's good. And of course, we're proud of all of our kids here in the county. Super proud of our guys here right in the town. All of our athletes. I got an opportunity the other night to watch volleyball. Great match. We came up short, but got to see those young ladies do their thing out there for senior night. And we just don't get to, we don't get to all of them. We don't get to a lot of the sports. We certainly have football guys, but there's a lot of other great athletes, student athletes we have here in the school. And so you get an opportunity, go by and check them out.
Absolutely, man. So, Mayor, that's all I got tonight, man. I feel like we need to come back and I don't know. I'm gonna wait to I don't know if I'm not wait to the 19th, but yeah, we can come back and talk some more about this.
No, we're gonna have to. I think, and do a special edition, I should say. And I think we're gonna try to find some of the someone to help us understand, professional counselors, law enforcement, whatever the case may be. Is to help.
I got it's Tracy Huff. Shout out to Tracy Huff, right?
Yep, absolutely.
She works at the St. James Health and Wellness Center, and we had a conversation on the sideline. She wanted to know, what could she do, and one of the things that she mentioned was alcohol treatment, and I really would love for her to come on. I'm gonna get her to come on and open it, because I think a lot of what's tied to this stuff is the alcohol problem. Andrews has the alcohol problem. There's a lot of alcoholics, and
but again, you do the numbers. I'm sensitive about it, but it's a problem. I think it's a problem across.
Yeah, no. Alcohol, nationwide, we are too comfortable with alcohol.
Yeah,
we are too comfortable. It's and you're right, anywhere, because it's there's people that I just don't like being around, because it seems like their personality is tied to that alcohol. When they get on that alcohol, it gets to be a different, no,
it changes you. Yeah, it changes you.
Yeah. And because I know for me, it turns me into a fool. You know what I mean? Like, I do it in a controlled environment. I already know. I like driving, because I want to speed. Whereas I would definitely would have stopped for that yellow light right there. Not on that hall.
No, we don't want that. And I think it's and I'll say this to all of us. We have to accept what's happening around us, and then be open to people coming in to help, or somebody and asking for help. We have to put pride behind us. If we know if it's us or you as an individual, or your children or your friend, you're obligated. You're absolutely obligated to help them get some help, or to get some intervention. And I think
it's not an easy road.
I know.
It's not an easy road, because the thing is, back to where we started this at, self-awareness got to, at some point, you have to be responsible for yourself and your actions.
Right. But to your point, we're talking about the influence of substance, alcohol. Then who is that? Just like for designated driver, who is that designated person that say, yeah, we'll go out and we're going to have a good time, but I'm going to stay sober or whatever I do.
Period.
And we got to watch each other and make sure because again, everybody is allowed to carry a weapon now. So now you get this thing in your system, this courage in your system. You get into an altercation, the first thing you're going to go to.
Period. Whereas you would have normally avoided, walked away. Now you add this element to it. Because one of the questions I asked, and I was asking people, because a lot of people were like, "Man, I was just up there before it happened, and I left."
Yeah.
And my question to them was, I was interested in understanding what made you leave when you left. What was going on? What did you observe? Did you get a call? You just had to go. What was it? And I was talking to my man Naj, and he was just saying how, because Naj, like me, he shoots events, so we get to see these things from a different perspective. And so you can kind of tell when nothing's going on. It's kind of, and if you're jacked up in alcohol, you might not be able to see that.
Right.
You under some kind of drug or whatever, you may not be able to see that. And so
here's a couple other things that kind of hit home close. There's a person I know very well, wasn't there, but decided to leave another spot to go check out the party, and became too close to the whole scenario. So again, trust your instincts, trust your conscience. Another person that's close to me, much younger than you, we still guiding, was there. And then the next day they had interest in going to South Carolina State. I'm like, no, that's not. Slow down. It's something you got to listen to your. If you don't have you better figure out how to develop a conscious or gut feelings about something, and trust it, and stay away from places, and don't feel that you have to be at every party or hanging out. Find something else to do.
Has desensitization set in?
Absolutely. It's ironic that you mentioned that, because I as a part of my self-reflecting and all this other stuff throughout the weekend, and how do we spend a lot of time. I didn't get to the festival till about 4:00 because again I was tired, but then when I woke up, this thing just keep playing in my mind. We lost a young man, 21 years old. What could I
that just started a new job?
Yeah, just started a new job. And I don't care who you are, man. If you become desensitized to this thing, then anything can happen. You cannot expect that it's going to be something bad. You got to put measures in place. And so that bothered me a lot. And so I say to this, my point earlier, think about it. Do you have to be at these places? It happens many times around large gatherings. Pick and choose. And if you got to go,
keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah, you got to keep your head on the swivel. I mean, it's happening at the national level. It's gonna happen at the local level.
That's that. I mean,
and I think that's where the intervention, I believe, now have to get into. You got to allow us into not me, but the professionals, into your home, into your group, whoever you have to talk. And how do you manage, these things? How do you manage conflict? How do you resolve an issue before?
Impulse control. Impulse control is, that's where it is. These things,
and you can't necessarily say, well, where the churches are. No, because it's not everybody's going to church. The churches are empty. So it all goes back to where do you lay your head? Who's the head of how? If that's where you spend most of your time.
That's it. What's going on in your house?
We got to open the doors and let some professionals in to talk about it, because it's too late once you lose that person, or that person takes somebody else's life. It's too late then. And that's
or that person causes somebody else to lose their life by being associated with them.
Yeah.
That happens too.
It's going to be the innocent ones. Most of the time that doesn't.
That's who Satan want.
Yeah.
That's who he want. You know what I mean? He gonna keep that he gonna keep that shit alive for a little while, so he can continue to do Satan's work. So he'll get him out.
Yeah. Who's ever doing this, and they're no longer a productive person in the community. They need to face up what has happened, and let's move on.
People need to say something, man, because the idea of, so what, we got 2 unsolved in Andrews. So technically we got 2 murderers walking around in the community, and people are okay with it because you don't want to be labeled a snitch. Well, they're gonna label your ass dead then.
It's not okay.
They'll tag your toe. If you think that's okay to have murderers amongst you in the community, and folks know what's going on. That's some moral.
It's a problem.
Yeah, big
For
problem.
us all.
But anyway, we'll get back on it.
Appreciate your time. I'm going to go look for some of my resources out here and talk to the folks up at the state and see if we can get, and hopefully people will come that not just preaching to the choir, those who already know it, but to those who need the help, who need to be in these intervention things that Butch is going to be chairing up here on the 19th. And any other resource that can come in and help you.
And if you know you got a problem with alcohol, get some help. If you know you got a problem with some drugs, man, you ain't got to worry about me saying on here, hey, this one. If hit me inbox, let me push you toward the right direction, because I can't help you, but I can push you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'll be in your ear, be in my ear as an encouragement. That's the thing too we got to do, man. Is it's to stop with all the negative doom and gloom all the time out your mouth, but I'm about to get into a conversation that I had that I'm not.
Yeah. So we owe that to continue this conversation, man. But I think the thing different from what we've done in the past is that we're asking folks who know that there's a problem in and around your community or in your home to let somebody come and talk to you or who you feel that needs some counseling.
No doubt.
Okay.
And Veronica, there's no help there, okay? There is no help for him there.
He must be a Cowboy fan.
I 100% to the core, since we've been little kids, there's no help for him, okay? And they gonna be in Charlotte this week. It's the 1 week I need my damn Panthers to play they behinds off. But all right, anyway, man, we out. It's been great. Listen, y'all, thank y'all for hitting that like button. For those of you who come in and you hung around this long time, please hit the like button on your way out. And we is out of here. We'll see you guys on the next one.